Hawkeye Title and Settlement, Mike's E-Keys for Cars, GT Car and his crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling, Supple's Flowers, home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Midtown Family Restaurant, Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Diamond Dreams Sports Academy, Senior Benefits, Premier Automotive in North Liberty, the Oxyoke Inn in the Amanas, Streets Maintenance, Remodeling and Plumbing, Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids, and Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here's Tom Suter, Pat Harty from HawkFanatic.com, and Coach Ben McCollum is on the line.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you joining us this morning on probably hopefully the busiest week of your life. But you've had great success everywhere you've been, four-time national champion at Northwest Missouri State University. Then you had one great year at Drake University, 31-4, making it to the round of 32 in the NCAAs. And now you get to enter the meat grinder that is the Big Ten. What do you expect the difference to be between where you've been and where you are now?
Yeah, good question. I haven't been there, so I'm not totally sure. My guess is probably similar to the jump from Division II to mid-major. I think the depth of talent is the biggest difference. You know, I think your top-end guys at the mid-major level can definitely play at the power, you know, at the high major level, but there's just more of them, and so you're just going to have to get used to the depth of talent, get used to the depth of physicality, and obviously the crowds are different, the pressure's a little bit different, you know, all that stuff. But you know, again, we're pretty excited about it. We're pretty excited about the level change, and I think we'll be fine in the Big Ten.
Hey, Ben, I'm Pat Harty. I'm the 1986 Drake grad that introduced myself to you after your press conference. First of all, I love what you did with my alma mater. I wish you could have stayed there, but I get it. I'm glad you're here. I wanted to ask you, Brian Harden, I mean, there's 3 new coaches in the Big Ten this year, and he at one time hired all of them. Can you just kind of talk of what he's meant to you and how he's helped you reach this point? What about his ability to hire and recognize good rising coaches?
I mean, he really trusts his own eyes in the evaluation. You know, he's a good person by nature, and a lot of times people that are good people can identify other good people. And so he's always just really trusted himself in that process and trusted that that person, even though they might be at a lower level or whatever it may be, can definitely win at the mid-major level. A lot of athletic directors don't. You know, I think they just kind of go off of what other people would say. They don't evaluate it for themselves. And he's done a great job of that, obviously, with Coach DeVries, myself, and Nico he did not hire, but,
That's right.
You know, Nico was very good for him as well. And, you know, the Drake job, it got better, too, over the years, where they built that practice facility that was really nice, and lounge and locker room, and it's no coincidence that obviously Brian Harden came in and those facilities got upgraded, and all of a sudden success came with it. And, you know, you kind of see the results of that through the last few coaches.
Speaking of facilities, one of the discussions here is moving the student section courtside. I know Beth has addressed that, saying that's something they're looking into. I know a lot of fans would love to see that happen. I think it would help. Just your thoughts on it. Would you like to see the students closer to the courtside?
Yes, I would love that. Yeah, I think the best way to create an atmosphere and to even get community to get to the games is to get students. Like, that has to be your focus. Because students create energy, and when they create that energy and it's just like a little more vibrant in there, everyone wants to come and be a part of that energy. And we need to get students there. We need to make them feel welcome. We need to make them feel like they're a part of the home court advantage. You know, a win or lose, like, we need them there, and we're going to make that a major priority. I'm going to be out as much as I can possibly be out to attend their things so that they'll eventually attend ours.
And you've talked about the importance of alumni and former players. How does that help in the kind of situation you're in right now? I mean, you're building a roster almost from scratch. I mean, and you want to reach to the past. I mean, how important do you think that is to, kind of feed off the culture that's here to try to build for the future?
It's really important. I just, like when you rebuild a program, it takes a lot of people to do that. Mm-hmm. And it takes, the alumni, it takes the students, it takes Iowa City, it takes the whole state of Iowa. It's going to take everybody. And for me, growing up in the state of Iowa and watching Iowa basketball, like those were my idols growing up. Mm-hmm. Like that's what I looked up to. And those were my NBA stars. And so, now to see if I can bring them back into the mix and make them feel a part of, hopefully a change for the better in regards to, wins and losses. And I think that's very important, just to create that energy and kind of that groundswell of energy. And eventually then more people want to join and hopefully we get this thing rolling.
Well, Coach, last week there was a picture floating around with a very young Ben McCollum, maybe 10 years old, with Dr. Tom Davis, of course, former Hawkeye coach. How important was that to you as a kid to meet Dr. Tom?
Oh, it was great. At the time I probably didn't realize because I was more into the players, but how about my full head of hair?
Yeah.
That was before I had been coaching for 20 years. So,
I was impressed.
Heck of a deal. Yeah, my wife's like, "Yeah, you had hair back then?" Yeah, I did. It's shocking. No, it was awesome. I think that was probably at the Northwest Iowa camp, and they would come to Storm Lake every year, and man, it was like that's what I looked forward to was that camp, and I can just remember getting there. I think we started it was 9 to noon. And I would get there at like 7 a.m. and just getting warmed up. And then, you'd go through your drill work, and some of them were outside on the tennis court. If it was raining, we'd all have to be inside. And then you'd go and you'd do Hawkeye trivia to try to win Hawkeye gear. That, it was fun. I remember it all. And I remember his teams. And I actually had a chance to talk to him this morning. And,
oh, good.
Hopefully he can come around to our practices consistently and just be a part of Iowa basketball again.
You talked earlier about the different levels, the skill set and what have you. As you move up coaching, you started in Division II, then you go to what they call mid-level Division I. I don't like these labels. And now you're at Big Ten. Is it more power, size, strength difference, or is it more speed, finesse? Is there one thing that stands out more as you go higher up in levels, talent-wise?
The size. Yeah, the size. I mean, when you walk into – and it all depends. Like, we played Mizzou in the first round, and, they were just kind of more 6'3", 6'4" across the board, freakishly athletic. Mm-hmm. And then they had a really good guy inside. Texas Tech, we were actually bigger than Texas Tech. They just had two bigs that were elite scoring in the post. And so – but you get your really true Power Fives. Like Kansas State was massive compared to us. So it all depends. But, yeah, it's usually size, length, that sort of thing is the biggest difference.
So did you have a favorite Hawkeye growing up?
Did I have a
favorite Iowa
Hawkeye?
player? Was there one player that really stood out for you?
Yeah, I mean, there was probably two. I think I don't know if it's cliche or not, but I think everybody was Chris Street,
sure,
because he would be the head of that press, and it was just so fun to watch. I think after that, it would probably be B.J. Armstrong.
Okay.
That's why I was number 10 in high school, because of him. And so, that was the guy you really looked up to. But, I looked up to a lot of them. And I'm probably from a different generation of Hawkeyes where the last 15 years I would watch. I probably didn't pay attention, or 20 years or whatever it may be. Probably didn't pay as much attention because I was coaching. But when I was growing up, I knew all those players.
Can I assume that you'll reach out to BJ at some point and talk to him?
Yeah, I've already tried through Brendan Sir, who was a coach for the Pistons for a little bit. So, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Coach, in 500 words or less, how would you describe your teams, your philosophy as a coach?
Yeah, I can keep that pretty simple and pretty quick. I think for us, what I've always thought is, you're always trying to make sure that you can get students to the University of Iowa, whatever institution you are, and the best way to do that is through athletics. The best way to impact a community is how do those kids act when they're on the floor? Like when we go on the road to, Michigan State or Michigan or Penn State or whatever it may be, do we make the state of Iowa proud by how they interact with each other, how tough they are, how physical they are, how connected, how much they love each other? And that's what we ultimately want to do here is be a great representative of what it means to be from the state of Iowa. And, we're going to do that through our connectivity, through our love for each other, all those things. From a basketball perspective, super efficient offensively and super physical defensively. Like that's what we are.
And I've loved your floor spacing. Whenever I watch Drake, but then I say to myself, well, that's because there's 3 or 4 really good shooters out there at all times. Obviously, that's a priority for every team, but for you, just when you're out looking at talent, trying to build this roster now, how important is perimeter shooting?
Yeah, so at Drake, I think we were still top 30 or 40 in Ken Palm offensive efficiency.
Yeah.
So we were one of the better offenses in the country. We didn't have a ton of shooting. So we had, a lot of times we'd only have 3 shooters on the floor, which makes it really tricky. When we were at Northwest Missouri State, we'd have 5 shooters on the floor, and a lot of them shot over 40% from 3. And so we had a lot of shooting, and we were elitely efficient. We would make and shoot a ton of threes. This year was just a little unique because you still have to build around the personnel that you have. You can't just run an offense because it looked really cool on TV, but it doesn't fit your personnel. So the way we'll score is we're always going to be efficient, and we're going to play to our personnel. And so, some years, like this year, it was slower than what I would prefer. Generally we'll probably be in the middle of the pack of pace, but always towards the top in offensive efficiency is where we'd prefer. And yes, shooting is, we always say shooters won the war. Like we need shooting. You have to be able to space the floor. You space the floor so you can get layups and free throws. And that's what we try to do.
Well, and it also helps to have a good point guard. And Bennett Sturts did announce yesterday on social media that he's committed. So I assume, can you talk about him right now?
Great question. I don't know. I better get that confirmation. I can talk about how good he is. That's about it. In regards to whether or not he's coming, that's probably something I need to confirm. But yeah, I can talk about him because I coached him for 2 years. He's as good as there is. He could pass, he could shoot, but I think most importantly, he's humble. He's super humble, and obviously, at Drake, I felt like he represented exactly what we were about, and at Northwest Missouri State, same thing.
Well, Ben, we know you're very busy. You're on a tight schedule. We appreciate the time. We do have one last question Tom's going to ask you. We are a radio station. I assume you have some music in your life, so thank you very much. We hope this is the first of many appearances on here, and good luck the rest of this spring and summer building this roster. We're all excited for what's coming.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Coach. So your cell phone rings, and you look down, and you see the name Beth Getz on it, and you're saying, oh, man, she's calling again. And you pick up the phone, and she says, Ben, I really need your help. We need to get some money in here this summer, and I need you, Ben McCollum, to hire a band, an act, or a singer to fill up Kinnick Stadium. Who is Ben McCollum going to hire to fill up Kinnick Stadium?
Wow, so this is a tricky question because there's other parts to this now. Okay. So do I need to fill up the stadium or do I just need to enjoy the concert myself?
You need to sell all the tickets and you need to make the right selection or you're in trouble with your boss.
But the answer is our bar is not set real high.
No, that's true, too.
We've had some interesting answers over the years.
Have.
Yeah, so then if that's the case, I would say to fill up Kinnick, I'm going to go Zach Bryan.
Okay.
All right, good choice.
Has anyone else?
We have had that. We've had some great questions or great answers, and no, that's good. I think Zach would do very well.
Well, Ben, thanks a lot again.
Well, I was going to say Tyler Childers. He's one that I'd listen to a lot. I just don't know that I could fill Kinnick with him.
Okay.
He would be one I would prefer personally.
Well, those are the kind of big questions that, as head coach, you need to be able to answer. Ben.
And Megan
Those are important questions.
Megan Gustafson, the great Hawkeye, she picked the pep band twice, the UI pep band.
Yes,
so
she did.
we've had a lot of interesting answers. But Ben, great having you on, and good luck building this roster. It's we're looking forward to seeing what lies ahead.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Thank you, Coach.
We kept it right on.
Yeah.
Right
Yep.
on shit. That was fun. He easy to talk to. I mean, you could tell on that interview that
he's easy to talk to, and I mean
he approached that answer, filling Kinnick, the way he coached. I mean, he took everything into consideration. All right, do I want to fill it or do I? I
No, that was good.
I was in. Yeah. His answer or Spencer Lee's answer?
The Pokemon theme song?
what the hell was that?
He said he didn't listen to music, and he had to come up with that just so he could get off the air.
Yeah, he was flummoxed.
He was a fine interview up until then, but I think at that point
interview.
he wanted off the air, though, don't you?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He didn't.
He said, why are they
Because we were
asking me
stunned
this?
that he didn't listen to music. We were all like, really?
I think it's because of their ears.
Cauliflower ear?
Yeah.
I know some wrestlers that listen to music.
Well, wrestlers are a different breed of cat.
I was wrong. I predicted either Slipknot or Bananarama to Hunter, and he didn't.
Bananarama.
Well, he's living in the 80s.
Listen, just his love of past.
I think that's
Hawkeye.
a huge,
I mean,
because that's one thing that Licklider didn't have. There's no worry about connection or knowing the Iowa way. I mean, that's something that's not going to be an issue here. That was an issue with Licklider. He never adapted. Alford, I mean, I don't know how to explain. I mean, Alford at first connected. Remember the students were rocking?
Oh, my God, what did they call that, Midnight Madness?
They had the Hawks Nest, and they won the Big Ten tournament his second year. It was going. He had it in the right direction. Now, the Pierce thing, obviously, but I still think even without the Pierce thing, his personality eventually would have worn thin, don't you think?
Yeah, indeed.
And they wouldn't have won enough with or without Pierce to offset his personality. Ben's not like that. I don't see that.
He knows the history. And he loves the history of it. No, I'm very optimistic about it.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, as optimistic as you can be.
Yeah,
he's got to do it.
He's got to do it, and you just never know.
But for right now, right now.
Right now, and I'm not worried about. I mean, I don't have incredibly high expectations for his first year. It's not doing this here, but I also don't expect him to go 10 and 21 either.
I expect him to go somewhere between. I would expect him to have a winning record, and I do not expect him to go 31-4.
No, if they could somehow at the end of the year be a lock for the NIT and be on the NCAA bubble, to me that is.
I think that would be.
If they can go 9-11 in the Big Ten next year,
that'd be great.
I think that would be great. Now let's see, he may end up getting 4 or 5 stars in the next 3 days.
Well, and if he does,
I don't think that'll happen, but no, I've got moderate or somewhat modest but realistic expectations. I don't think this guy is going to tolerate losing. But I think this 1 year, I just think you got to be realistic. Let's just wait and see. I don't think what he did at Drake will obviously work at this level. You're not going to take. I don't think you would take those 4 or 5 starters from Drake and win in the Big Ten at the level he did. It's just not going to happen.
Well, no, he's not. That's why I say
that's just
31-4 probably isn't going to happen.
That's just not going to happen. And but we'll see. Like I said, I'm excited because they have a coach that's real. Now, Fran was excited to be here. When Fran got here, Fran, he did all the stuff too.
He did. But Fran had a massive hole to fill.
He did, yes. The program's in better shape now, but you can't compare the 2 eras because Fran took over at a time when 80% of your roster, whether you like it or not, was going to be there.
Yep,
you had
that's
Fran.
True.
Now 90% of your roster's gone. But I think Ben. I don't think Ben's going to be overhauling his roster every year. I think this year, of course, but I think he's going to get it to where I think 60 to 75% of his roster's intact going, and then you do kind of like what Fran did. I hope that, 'cause to me, I think that's the only way you can do it at Iowa. I mean,
Because it's really hard.
And it's expensive.
And it's hard to look at. I don't like seeing former Hawkeyes, visiting Nebraska, Illinois, Indiana.
But you wouldn't have a problem with former Cornhuskers if they're good visiting Iowa.
Of course not.
Well, see that
I'm a fan.
Yeah, you're a fan. I try to look at it a little more like that's just the way it is. I mean, I don't take it personally when Josh Dix visits Illinois. Would I like him to stay at Iowa? Sure, for lots of reasons, including business.
Just in my head, they're Hawkeyes, and it's going to be weird to see him in a different uniform. It was weird to see Tony Perkins playing for Missouri, for me.
That was a little strange. I'm sure it'll be weird for South Dakota State fans to see Mark Gronowski playing quarterback for Iowa.
I'm sure it will be.
And so, yeah.
But that is the way it is.
That's just the way it is. That's the way it's Bruce Hornsby.
Yeah. Well, the Rembrandts.
They have a song called The Way It Is?
Yeah, just the way it is, baby.
Really?
Baby.
Rembrandt.
That's just the way it is, baby.
You don't even know the song, and you're already...
Is that what he just sang? Yes. I heard that song.
Yeah.
I know that song. Yeah.
Good song, actually.
Not a big fan.
It's a great song. Maybe.
80s, 90s?
Yeah, and now.
Were you thinking that maybe... What if Ben would have picked the Rembrandts to Phil Kinnick?
No.
Steve would have hung up on you.
Would either one of those acts Phil Kinnick?
No,
not at all.
They wouldn't fill...
maybe we should have asked him Carver.
They wouldn't fill Section E.
Maybe we should have asked him Carver.
Yeah, they ain't going to fill Carver either.
No.
Really?
No.
So he just went with acts.
Luke Bryan would absolutely fill Carver. Easy.
Yes.
I thought that's what he said.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the
See, now I thought he would pick a country artist.
Those guys are both country, aren't they?
Yeah. And I expected maybe Morgan Wallen. But just because
I
he's
had
so
no,
big.
Well,
right
I told
now.
you mine. I was wrong.
Morgan Wallen.
Oh, no, he's cringed as far as I'm concerned.
I was
He's
way
big.
off, though, wasn't I?
Yeah.
With my picks?
What?
Slipknot and Bananarama were the two I thought it would be one of.
Do you know something?
Slipknot's from Iowa. They're in Iowa.
Slipknot would fill Carver.
Well, they'd probably fill Kinnick, wouldn't they?
I don't know about that.
I don't think so.
Maybe 20 years, 15 years ago?
Maybe. Or they'd fill 3/4 of Kinnick.
Yeah, I've never
Slipknot would be.
Oh, I'm not arguing with you. Yeah. I've never understood the.
That's not my
It's just
genre.
not my.
Yeah, but it is.
But
a
it
lot.
is for some, and hey, more power to them.
Yeah.
I know
That's music.
they're
man.
successful because I've seen the house that the lead singer used to
No, they're
live in. And it was
they're very successful.
Yeah.
You know. Hello.
Hey there, how are you? I thought he said Zach Bryan, who is a new, younger.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
He did say Zach.
Zach
He
Bryan.
said Zach
Yeah,
Bryan.
You're right.
Yeah, he didn't say
Yeah,
Luke Bryan.
and
You're
he
right.
is literally filling stadiums in these summer tours. So
Okay.
maybe it'll happen. Never know.
Shows how much country music I'm listening to.
Okay, well, thanks for clearing that up. You're right.
Yeah,
He
good.
did say Zach Bryan. Captain's
very
looking at him. You're Googling him right now, aren't you, Captain?
Yeah.
But no, that was
Good
a
interview, guys.
Thanks, appreciate it. No, that was a fun interview, and I figured he was going to say strength and size as you get, but I also marvel at the change in speed and quickness because some of the best shooters I've known in my life played Division III, Division II. Guys played Division that could just shoot the hell out of the ball.
Yep.
But a lot of those threes that they make at Division III, they couldn't get off at the division because they wouldn't have enough time
That's right.
to get the ball to rise up to shoot over the 6'3" or 6'4" really athletic defender who's using both athleticism and size. There's just such a huge difference in the amount of time you have to get a shot off if you go from level to level.
He's country rock
Hey.
and more. It looks like more rock.
So he could have, Slipknot and Bananarama could have been second and third on his list. I just saw their video this morning. On my cell phone, it was that Cruel Summer thing. It just popped up. That's how Twitter is. Just videos from out of nowhere just pop up. And it was Bananarama, Cruel Summer.
Yeah.
They were popular, but boy, I didn't think they had much.
I played him yesterday with
You did, Venus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was a lousy song when it came out.
I didn't mind Cruel Summer. I remember I heard Cruel Summer because it was in The Karate Kid. And The Karate Kid came out in 1984. I was like 19, 20 years old. Ah, Daniel-san.
Yeah.
Step back, Daniel-san.
Hello.
Do we know how many of the Iowa guys are staying?
We don't. Well, right now,
as of right now, one.
Koch is back, and we're waiting. Mulvey's gone to Siena, and now we're waiting on Price Sanford and Josh Dix. I said there was a report saying he's leaning towards Illinois, but then, like I said, the guy who issued the report, even though it was an Illinois thing, Illinois fans were like, hey, you were wrong about this guy, and this guy, and this guy fires back, yeah, but I was right about this guy. So this guy's 2 out of 5 in predicting. And he's saying Dix is coming to Illinois. I don't know. You've heard Price Sample.
So we really don't have any idea.
Well, some. I mean, we just named 2 of the 7.
Well, we know
Freeman's 3 of the 7, yeah.
Went to Creighton.
And Mulvey's at Siena.
Creighton.
And
Harding's at TCU.
Brock Harding's at TCU.
So actually, we know we've got almost half of them filled.
Yeah.
We're basically waiting on Dix and Price. Oh, and then Laji Dembele. I haven't heard anything. Have you heard any rumors about him?
No.
And we couldn't ask Ben about that stuff because that's.
Well, he can't say.
He can't say. I mean, one of the NCAA, the NCAA's waiting to govern, swoop in. Hey, you can do whatever you want NIL, but if you say anything, we're going to get you with bylaw X32. But.
It could be a pretty brand new team.
It's going to be a pretty brand new team.
It's going to look a lot more like the 2024 Drake Bulldogs than it is the 2024 Iowa
So are you
Hawkeyes.
assuming Tavian Banks and the transfer from Wyoming?
So I think they'll get a couple more of them.
I would think they'd get them. It'll depend on who else offers and what have you. But I don't think either one of those guys will have top Power 5 guys coming after them. I don't think. That's not a criticism.
No.
That's just reality, and that'll help their chances here. And I think they can play at this level. I think they
Have
can.
you watched the Crown?
No. I watched Patrick a little bit, but I got bored.
Do you have any idea who you think would win that thing?
I don't know, but I just want Caitlin there screaming at the officials in that empty arena. Can she get there? Did they win? Did Butler win?
It looks pretty empty when you look at it.
I think they did.
So maybe she'll be here for the next game.
And I think Patrick had 6 points and 2 rebounds.
Well, maybe Caitlin will be there for the next game in the
Maybe.
Crown. They watch their arenas full. There's people just trying to get next to Caitlin.
Okay, guys.
All right.
Well, have a good day if you can, because it's raining.
Yeah, but it's going to be in the 70s. You'll have your air on by 3, won't you?
I got my hair on now.
I have my heat on now.
I got to turn it up.
Yeah, because it's cold and it's raining.
Oh, no, it's been cold. These last couple of days have sucked.
It's nice and toasty here in the studio, Karen.
Yeah.
It is nice
Well,
and warm.
it's not bad in my car either, but
All right, well, drive careful.
no, I'm already stopped. I don't talk while I'm driving.
Okay, I was going to say hands 9 and 11.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Oh, no.
Take care.
11
All right,
and,
thanks,
11
Brian.
and 1. What am I saying? 9 and 11. 11 and 1.
9 and 11 would be uncomfortable.
No,
10
9
and 2.
No, 10 and 2 is a little bit too. I'd rather
9
have,
and 11 would be very
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
9 and 11 would be
and
uncomfortable.
dangerous.
How about 11 and 3? Get a little angle to it.
Yeah. Go around in a circle.
Yeah. So, so you've said you've heard rumors that Price may be going in, that Nebraska may have a good chance. That's the only school that I know that he's visited, right? I haven't seen any other. So that would sort of maybe kind of feed into that.
I did see another fun picture. Josh Dix was visiting Illinois, and you know how the schools roll out the red carpet for their players, their prospective players, and there was a picture of Josh Dix in the McDonald's at Illinois.
Ben was talking about his team, his Drake team. They weren't, I guess, a great, but it seemed like whenever I watched them play, they made huge 3-point shots. They just made opportunistic 3-point shots, like when they had to. They made them that mascara. And Bennett Sturtz, I watched make a lot of threes.
Yes, he did.
He can shoot threes.
One of the things that he is to get that great shot, and not a good shot.
And that's what
but
they
get
did.
That extra great shot.
And that's what they did.
Yeah.
Now, can they do this here? Better defenders? We'll see.
Hello.
Hey guys, it's Greg calling from Chicago.
Hi, Greg.
I actually have a roster question as well, unless I missed it. But Traore and I forget the guy's name, but that was the mid-season transfer from Miami. They never entered the portal, did they?
As of now,
Rigo, they're not in the portal. I haven't seen anything about them staying here, but they haven't entered the portal either.
yeah. So I haven't really.
Yeah,
Even the sites that just report on this nonstop haven't really had anything, have they?
No, nothing official. No.
Yeah, I just thought if they were going to leave, why would you not enter the portal? That's why I just found it curious.
Maybe he wants them both. Yeah.
Who knows?
All right, thanks.
All right. Thanks.
Sounds like you fell into like a grain.
What is
business.
this? Fargo? Is that a wood chipper there, bud?
Watch out for Peter. What's it, Peter Stormare? Is that who played the wood chipper?
Yeah.
He played that character well, didn't he?
Scary.
Yeah, he was scary.
You know, but how daunting is that to look at a list of 1,700 players and say, yeah, I want this, I want to have this guy visit, this guy no.
Tom, there's 1,100 women basketball players in the portal.
I know, it's crazy.
Okay, Zach Bryan has been, it says breaks Prudential Center's attendance record. But, you're talking about Kinnick. And
I'm talking 70.
You guys are dying on this hill. You guys are dying on this hill, aren't you?
70,000 people.
Yeah.
You're picking apart the coach's pick here.
His top attendance is 19,151.
Yeah, come on, Coach.
But that's only because that's how much the arena held.
Well, that's right.
But maybe you put him in a stadium. I'm with Coach McCollum here. You guys are already tearing him down.
And this is an event.
Hasn't even coached his first game, and you're doubting him and questioning him.
He's going to do 20, 25 maybe there unless Caitlin's there. And then it'll be sold out.
What if she's there, though,
screaming
at the song selections?
Sold out.
No, I think she would. If they knew she was going to the Crown, that would bring some people in that arena. Don't you think?
Probably.
I think if they...
Sad as that is.
I turned it on for like 7
There was nobody there.
Or something. No.
I kept looking for Fran and Margaret and the family.
There's more people that go to the city high.
The best, though, is you saw people walking in the corridor outside, going from one point to the other. Oh, hey, there's a basketball game on in there, But, yeah,
more people standing in line for ice cream at Carver.
Most of the teams in the tournament have losing records, don't they?
I want Queen Elizabeth II to get the crown back. Is that what we're talking about?
But did Butler win?
I think they did.
So I think they did win. So I wonder if there's always a chance, she might be out to their game. And I think that would be funny if word gets out that she's going to be there, and all of a sudden there's 10,000 people now.
All of a sudden full.
I mean, wouldn't that, like you said, though, that'd also be a little creepy, wouldn't it?
A little creepy. Maybe have Zach Bryan there.
Well,
pre-game to get some people in there.
And what was the other one he said? Oh, Tyler Childers.
Yeah.
I've heard of him, which means he's done something. Some of these names that they've mentioned before, I had never heard of Morgan Wallen until somebody mentioned. I've heard of Tyler Childers.
He was on SNL last week, and when they introduce after the show and the host comes on and say, "God, what a great week," and say thanks to the musical guest.
It was Morgan Wallen.
It was Morgan Wallen. He walked off the stage.
He was an a-hole to work with, and he wouldn't do.
What is he, Van Morrison?
Sketch. He's
a dick.
He's a dick. He's a drunk, and he's a racist. And people like him.
What about Van Morrison?
Huh?
What about Van?
He's, same thing.
We don't know that he's a racist.
No, he's a major racist. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Van Morrison?
I don't know anything about him.
No, I've seen his band playing. A lot of his members are black.
I understand. Well, I know. A lot of my friends are black.
But so you're saying you're a racist?
No, he is a racist.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I know that he's angry.
He and Clapton. And he takes a lot of black music and influences.
Sure.
But
that's weird about Clapton too.
People that have known him say that I don't know. Maybe he's just miserable to everybody.
I mean, you see old Clapton video, and 90% of his band is black.
Yeah.
And in 1976, he got up and he ripped the black movement. Just because they're good musicians or or good athletes or whatever, it's like this. I can't remember his name now. He's 44. He played in the NFL for a long time. He's got a lot of money, and he runs a dogfighting ring, and he just got arrested.
Oh, another one of these cases?
Yeah.
Really?
Real bad, even worse.
Worse than the Vic stuff?
Even worse.
I mean, the Vic stuff was bad enough.
I
do believe he's moved on and learned. I mean, he's the head coach at a college now. He's a college head coach.
He can burn in hell.
Yeah, no, I know the's some people that will never forgive him. I mean, it was terrible what they did.
No, that's bad.
It's terrible what they did. I mean,
I would never forgive him.
I don't know how you could possibly do that to, let alone any living thing, let alone precious dogs.
Or shoot your dog in front of your child.
I could never. I mean, I don't know how you could ever.
Yeah, I can't.
The meanest thing I've ever done, my basset hound, I used to make Fred. She could sit up. She could literally sit up like a tower, and I'd run around circles in the house, and she'd have to sit up until I was done running circles. And she'd stay there, and then finally my dad would let the dog down. She'd sit there standing up, and I'd run around.
Did she like it?
No. But I was 7, 8. She was brought home to raise me, and she knew it. They brought her home from the dorms at Drake. If I would have had more time, I would have explained that to Ben, just how deep my Drake roots are.
Well, I could have told Ben that my parents fell in love at Drake.
We just didn't have enough time. I mean, it would have taken me 15 minutes to explain all the Drake ties.
Could have said my daughter went and graduated from Drake. Could have done that.
I could have done.
LaShawn Johnson.
LaShawn Johnson.
Yeah. Former NFL player, been indicted.
Did he play? Is that the one that? Well, I don't want to say if it's not. There was a LaShawn Johnson. Wasn't there a really good running back that came here from like Northern Illinois that had a big game here? Look up where he went to college, Captain. Okay. I'm going to one up you, Suter, because my sister still works at Drake right now. She's in admissions. She's been there for 15, 20 years. My mom worked there for about 30. My dad got his master's there. My brother got his law degree there. Somehow I got my Bachelor of Arts there. My sister met her husband there. My brother-in-laws both graduated from Drake. My first dog, my first love of my Basset Hound, was living in the Drake dormitory and was brought home to me and stayed with me for the next 10 years of my life.
Those are some good ties.
That's some...
former Iowa basketball coach, Bucky O'Connor, my dad's best friend.
He went to Drake, right?
Went to Drake.
Yeah, so we both
roomed together.
But it's incredible. My sister is, and she's been working at Drake for years. She loves it, and it's just... And
he played for the Northern Illinois.
Yeah, that's the guy. I remember him playing at Kinnick Stadium.
He just ate us up.
He was one of the best running backs in the country that year.
Yeah.
And that was years ago.
And what did he do?
He's running a dogfighting ring?
Yeah.
Where?
190 dogs.
Where?
190 dogs in Oklahoma. Oh, he should burn in hell.
Yeah, I don't know why these people think they're going to get away. I'm surprised that he could get away with it to the point he did if he's had that many involved with all the video and all the transparency. Now it's hard to do stuff like this.
Yeah, you can't get by with anything. And that's probably good in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad, yeah. So,
possession of 190 pit bull dogs.
It's always pit bulls.
Used for fighting. Yeah, in 1970 to 79 or earlier, pit bulls were never arrested.
Well, I remember the cover of Sports Illustrated in '87 was the pit bull. Remember that?
Yeah.
It became such a big controversy society-wise.
He pled guilty to animal fighting charges in 2004. He pled guilty in 2005 to dog fighting in Oklahoma.
Oh,
he
so
received a 5-year deferred sentence then.
Wow.
And now he faces 5 years in prison, a $250,000 fine on each count.
Wow.
God, I think it'd be more than just 5 years.
Well, that's on each count.
I mean, aren't you getting 20 for destroying a Tesla? Seriously though, isn't that?
Yeah.
So you can torture and kill dogs for 5 years, but you firebomb a Tesla and you get 20?
Well, you fired.
So I'm curious, if you go to like a other car dealer, and let's say you firebomb an Audi, or is it the same thing?
No.
Or is it just Teslas?
Just Teslas.
Why is that?
Because this
seems like a conflict of interest.
It's all effed up. Yeah.
Doesn't seem. I mean, I'm all for prosecuting. I think it's stupid to go out and damage that stuff.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't have a problem with people protesting. And
I don't have a problem with protesting. Just do it without damaging stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to wreck it.
Yeah, you can protest.
It wrecks it. Listen, I talked about this yesterday. They had a video in San Francisco. They had all these cameras surrounding this Tesla dealership, and this guy drives his Tesla to the dealership, and he gets out of it, and all of a sudden you see the Tesla break out in fire in the engine, and in a pretty good fire, and the guy owned the car. It just broke.
When I look at them,
it had nothing to do.
They look like they look like heating vents.
Yeah. Oh, it had nothing to do with any terrorism. The car just caught on fire.
Yeah, I know. I've had the.
Well, it was like your Buick Riata.
It would just, the damn thing would just start smoking out of the dash. And my kid always wanted to drive it because it was a 2-seater. He thought it was cool. And so he calls me on Highway 61. He goes, "Hey, Dad, the dashboard's smoking." And I said, pull over and give it 5-10 minutes.
God, it sounds like the car the Darlings drove in Andy Griffith. They'd have to pour water out of the hat into the...
Yeah, it was.
Jesus.
This thing was way ahead of its time. I mean, the dash...
It's a nice car.
The dash that you have now with all the digital crap and everything, this was 1989, 1990. It had all that stuff back then, but it wasn't
That
perfect.
doesn't seem that long ago, but that's a long time
it
ago.
is.
Yeah.
That's 35 years ago.
I got 5 speeding tickets in that car.
Wow. I back to Ben, if you don't mind.
Yes, let's go back to Ben.
One thing I didn't ask him, I wish. Think about it, though. All the stuff he's got to do, and yet he's still got his family has to move from Waukee to here. I imagine the wife probably handles, but I'm sure he has to deal with all that too. I'm assuming they're going to let the kids finish the semester down there, but that's all part
I
of
would
we just
imagine
take it.
that.
But think about all the just all the
Oh.
different stuff that he's going to have to do over these next 2-3 months.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
And, I mean, I imagine his wife has got to do the bulk of that.
Just like Fran's wife. I mean, now
Yeah,
like Fran, all of a sudden, now he's moving from Coralville, where he's been for 15 years. Now he's all of a sudden back in Philly. It's amazing how quickly it can change after something hasn't changed for so long.
Yeah.
I loved having Fran's wife on the radio.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was fun.
Margaret was fun.
Yeah.
She made fun of pretty much everybody. Us.
No, she was really...
Well, we were the low-hanging fruit.
Yes,
so.
but she also made fun of her kids and Fran.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to miss Fran, but I'm going to miss Fran, but I'm going to also embrace Ben. I'm excited for this. You can
absolutely.
do both. You can like them both.
Yeah.
And
Look, I've been going to Iowa basketball games for 50 years, more. And, if I
I've been
can
going for 60.
Yeah, I have. And, we all saw that the seats were not filled.
No, they had
and
to
it
do
got
something.
worse and worse.
They
and
had
worse.
to do something.
And they had to do something. And that doesn't mean, did Fran deserve to be fired? I don't know. That wasn't my call.
But it was happening under his watch.
Yes. And, Fran most people would say Fran did a pretty darn good job here.
I always put it out, was fired after 15 mostly successful seasons.
I think
that's how I
that's
describe it.
accurate.
They weren't all, but they were mostly successful. And 15 years is a lot of time. And I like the fact that Fran hasn't left firing shots. He did that interview with the Screamer. And he didn't, from what I could tell.
Welcome to Philly!
He didn't take any pot shots at Iowa or anything.
No.
And it was weird, though, seeing Fran in that pin attire, how quickly it happens. He's
it
out
is
there.
weird.
He's out there. My guess is he's probably living in a hotel out there right now, wouldn't you say, while they're getting him?
Probably.
And but just to see him already addressing the team, it's just so quickly it changes.
Well, I'm sure Drake fans seeing Coach McCollum
I did
in the Hawkeye gear
I did see a
is
funny
alarming.
tweet. Somebody showed him addressing the team, and it's him talking to an empty set of bleachers. they were joking because he didn't have it.
Yeah.
Now, if you do it, you throw Cooper Koch, and you could throw those two.
Carter Kingsbury.
Yeah, Carter. Well, assuming he comes back, but it was that was a funny gift.
Did you notice on the video of Fran talking to the Screamer that he had earplugs in?
Well, I did notice he had something coming out of his ear. I just could not concentrate on what Fran was saying because I was so amazed at the screaming.
Just a Screamer. People don't understand amplification. Honest to God.
Maybe not. Should we take a break?
Yeah, I think we should, and we'll be back with more nonsense and
Yeah, we got no more.
else.
We got no more guests coming today.
No more guests coming today.
We don't have Jan Jensen or Tom Brands coming through that door anytime soon.
Unless they happen to call.
If they want to call in,
Yeah,
but we're on
right.
our own, Captain.
Yeah.
We're on our own.
Even Karn called in early.
Karn's done.
Yeah.
Greg from Chicago's done.
Yeah.
Hey.
I tried to get Zach Bryan.
Wait, what about it? Hey, guys.
That'll take up 20 minutes.
We'll be right back.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember,
don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Harty and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Harty and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Harty and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HartyandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
If you're looking for a new or used car, truck, or SUV, you should know Deary Ford is here for you. To give you the best selection and pricing on new Fords, Deary Ford is here for you. To work with long-term experienced sales and service reps, Deary Ford is here for you. To give you the highest trade values, Deary Ford is here for you. To provide pickup and delivery and mobile service for our customers, Deary Ford is here for you. Hurry in or shop online at DearyFord.com.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit suples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246. When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches, and special ribeye and shrimp nights. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top-level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319 390-3703, or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
Dear U of I, just a note to let you know if you're ever thinking about selling Kinnick Stadium or Carver Hawkeye Arena, please consider Hawkeye Title and Settlement. We're here to provide efficient, high-quality real estate title and closing services. Signed, Hawkeye Fan Forever, and send. Hi, this is Steve Anderson with Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Whether it's a large commercial property or if you're buying your first home, remember we're here to help. Hawkeye Title and Settlement Services of Iowa City. You'll love our team just like you love the Hawks.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen and bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
You take great care to maintain your home or business inside and out. But maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
Hello, this is Bill Leixnering from the Oxyoke Inn, inviting you to a place where you have your choice of 4 portion sizes. And when you order our famous family style, you can take your leftovers home. To a place where you can make reservations online at oxyokeinn.com or by calling and speaking to a person at the Oxyoke. A place where, compared to a hotel, our private banquet rooms are very affordable. But most important, our fresh food is prepared to order, and our servers have a passion for serving you. At the Oxyoke, we've been practicing since 1940. Serving daily with a brunch buffet on Sundays, Oxyoke Inn in the heart of Amana, where you'll always leave happy.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
This morning, it's going to be cloudy and breezy with scattered showers and thunderstorms likely here across much of the region. The clouds are going to get out of here. We'll have some sunshine by later this afternoon, but the wind is going to continue to hold on through much of the day. We could have gusts from 35 to 45 later this afternoon. High today around 70. Tonight, clear upper 30s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. 57 on Friday. Partly cloudy with a high of 58. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Outside now, it's 46.
KCJJ weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply, kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
We're back.
Are we?
Yeah. I got I forgot to mention this Monday. I got contacted by a guy who's a friend of Marty Terrell.
Yeah?
Mouth of the Midwest.
Oh, Marty Terrell?
Terrell, whatever.
I forgot about him.
Yeah. Yeah, he has sports editorials, if we would like to carry
Pass.
Yeah.
Although I'm not
So
the
he's
program
representing.
director,
He wants us to carry Marty Terrell's sports editorials.
Yes.
Yes.
Why would we do that?
I don't know. Good question.
Price based on your market size.
So they were going to charge us?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. So there you go. So, yeah, did watch Addie Deal last night. I thought she played pretty well as far as you can tell in those
All-Star games are tough.
There they are.
I looked at it, and their team was ahead 18-0.
Yeah.
And then the other team eventually came back to make it somewhat of a game. But, yeah, I've never been a big All-Star game fan. Now, back in the old days when you hardly ever saw these recruits before internet and stuff, now time these recruits, like on the boys' side playing the All-Star, you've heard so much about them and whatever. There's so much coverage. But no, she represented the Hawks and made it through uninjured, which is always good.
She looked good. She's a solid player, and she's not skinny at all.
Her body looks ready for Big Ten basketball.
Yes, it does.
No, it really does. And I blocked that guy, Captain. We upset the bro crowd because they heard Suter. I guess the bro crowd's really into Morgan Wallen. You know, the baseball cap backward crowd. Yeah. Call everybody bro and fist pump and those. And
I don't care about Morgan Wallen. I just thought it was tacky that he walked off the stage for no reason.
And you have a right to your opinion. You said
he's a dick.
I have never seen. I watch SNL. I've watched it since it started. Okay, I've never seen an artist walk off the stage at the end like that.
Well, have you ever
never
seen an artist walk off of a building roof and fall down and survive? I mean,
well, he did that too.
Yeah.
But
have you ever seen an artist that's embraced by the freaking public after he drops the N-word a dozen times? I mean, I don't know. It's a different world.
I don't know anything about all that.
World. Well,
you guys told me to block that guy, and I did.
Yeah. Screw this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you like him, fine. He's not the best country singer out there.
No, Marty Robbins.
Well. He's not the best country singer alive out there.
All right.
Luke Bryan.
Well, Fern Walls.
Yeah.
You know.
Vassar Clements.
Vassar Clements isn't a singer.
Yeah, I know,
but fiddle player.
Now, would that have surprised you if Ben would have said Vassar Clements?
Yes. Very
much.
Would Vassar Clements fill up the Englert?
Yes.
He would do well.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Carver? Yeah. How about Extreme Arena?
No, but they have like maybe 3,000.
Okay. Englert holds about 29, 27, something like that.
What?
Is it that many?
Theater is
it not that many?
I don't think it's that
no,
many.
Is it like 1,000? Oh, is it 800? Okay,
I'm getting 800 to 850.
I don't know why. What am I getting I'm getting the 27 figure from something that I've got to in the past, but Englert's only like 800?
I don't know.
850, I think.
Okay.
900.
If only there was somewhere where you could look.
No, I guess, yeah, because there is not
when
much.
We bought a seat for our in-laws there, and I think at the time there were.
What do you mean you bought a seat?
You sponsor seats
when
they were building.
Okay.
725.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't know what I was thinking holds 20. Maybe it's some other music venue I've been to.
Tom, I think it's more than that.
Well, that's what it said.
Yeah. Because I think our seat was like number 800 or something.
Okay.
So.
But
it's a great venue.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And
acoustically, it's real good.
I like watching music standing up more than I do sitting down, which you can do there.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you prefer to be standing when you're listening to music than sitting down?
Not me.
Yeah. See, I'd rather be standing.
It depends on who's playing.
I've always been that way. I don't like sitting down listening to music.
Leo Kodke, I'd sit down.
See, I've been to probably 10 of his concerts, and some the Englert I sat down, but I'd rather be standing.
It says 725, Steve.
All right. Okay. Then I think we got screwed. Because I remember it being seat 800. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I seldom am wrong. I doubt I'm wrong, but it's a possibility that I'm wrong.
So since we've been on the air, has there been how many people you think have entered the portal since we've been on the air? Or do you think most are in now that are going to be in for now? I mean...
Well, I mean, you've still got 4 teams playing on each side, so you know that some of those people will go into the portal to take advantage of a big payday.
And I'm guessing some of these teams that are in the Crown, I'm guessing some of those players. I think they were talking about one team where a couple players were going in the portal, but they're just playing.
We're going to play the game
playing
anyway.
the game anyway. You know, I guess if you may as well if the coach doesn't mind and what have you. But man, it's just such a crazy. Well, now if Dix ends up going to, if it comes down to Illinois and Indiana, which one would be less bothersome to you?
Indiana.
Indiana would be less bothersome
Yes.
than Illinois? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that just because it's 2 states over? Or?
Well, it's just Iowa and Illinois have got a basketball history that has been less than great sometimes.
Mhm.
And there have been some contentious moments.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah.
Probably the peak of it was probably late 80s with the Bruce
Mhm.
Pearl, Deion Thomas
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
Now, how much would it bother you if Price goes to Nebraska?
Plenty.
And they need someone like that, because when I watched Nebraska this year, lots of times they just didn't have enough shooting.
No, and all these kids deserve the opportunity, and I absolutely agree with that. I just wish that they would choose one of the 320 other schools that aren't in our conference, and that's just me.
Now, it could be, too, though, Tom, part of the reason they're interested is because they are Big Ten schools and are very familiar with these guys.
Of course.
Whereas, like, some school like Arizona, well, yeah,
Yes.
there's a Sanford kid up at Iowa. We've heard he's good, but we don't know that much on him.
I
think location.
understand that.
I think location does sometimes even impact the transfer portal.
Absolutely.
But I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'd rather have him go to Creighton if you're an Iowa fan. Then you wouldn't have to deal with him in the conference and what have you. But we'll see. I mean, Ben's going to do everything he can. He's made it clear
Yes.
that he wants Price and Josh. He's going to offer whatever money they have, but there's only so much you can do.
Okay, Tony Perkins goes to Missouri. I could 100% pull for Tony Perkins to have a good experience at Missouri.
And I think for the most part he did.
I imagine he did.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I didn't really give much thought to it afterwards. I certainly didn't wish him any ill will. I mean,
No.
these guys got to do what they have to do.
Sure.
Owen Freeman, I don't wish him any ill will. Brock Harty, and I hope they stay healthy and have success. They had to make decisions for themselves. What's best? They have to take advantage of this 4 and 5 year window that they have to make money and to play college basketball.
Because those guys may not be playing.
Well, I doubt Brock
after
Hardy's
college.
going to play in the NBA.
Yeah,
I mean, he could maybe go play somewhere overseas
Maybe.
or whatever, but yeah, most of these guys probably won't play in the NBA.
And so if they can get a big payday, I get it.
Yes, and that's part of it. And Iowa's now playing the game. I'm sure Cooper Koch and Bennett Sturts, they're going to get money, and we'll just have to see what goes on. Like I said, there's so much that still has to happen, but he was just hired barely a week ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's barely been a week. I mean, they introduced him. They introduced the hire last Monday, and then they had a press conference on Tuesday. Yeah, it's been 8 days.
And there's people, my God.
What's taking so long with the roster? I mean,
how long does it take?
I mean, the roster's going to
We
take a while.
can't get anybody.
Well, you're going to hear that if all of a sudden Dix or something. But that's just natural. That's natural reaction on social media from people that basically just go on there and just grieve and vent, rage and own. They own the opposition.
I got 2-year guarantee from MediaCom for $105 a month because I've got the biggest gig or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I got a 2-year guarantee, and they just took out 115.
I don't understand.
Why are we talking about this?
Guaranteed.
How did you come up with
I
this?
just got pissed off.
I know, but we weren't talking.
I know. But
so now all of a sudden we're talking about your cable bill?
Yeah, it pissed me off.
That it was higher?
Yeah. It's $10 higher a month.
Are you surprised? I'm guessing you're not.
Pisses me off.
Yeah.
But anyway.
There you go.
Mine's 62.
Yeah, but you're not. I got that station running in my basement.
I'm on. Well, you're my internet. Well, I guess with the phone, it's a little more than that. But no, like I said, I've been very happy with Iman. Never had one. Haven't had one issue with the internet since I switched.
I might be switching.
Have not had one issue with the internet since I didn't have a lot of issues with the internet with MediaCom. It was mostly TV.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've had a couple minor TV disruptions with YouTube.
Okay, I got to turn my mic on.
Okay, he's turning his mic on. Oh, so have you ever even heard Morgan Wallen?
No. I haven't heard of any of these. Haven't heard. No, I'm not knocking them. I just not interested.
I guess we paid it late, so I got charged for a late fee.
I had never heard of Luke Combs until he did the fast car thing with Tracy Chapman. Yeah,
Luke Combs is great.
Yeah, I just don't listen to that type of music.
Yeah.
Molly keeps up with it, but I don't so much.
Yeah, but she wouldn't play Shabuzi.
I like Shabuzi.
She wouldn't play it. I said, "Are you going to play this if we put it in?" She goes, "No."
I like Shabuzi.
You like Shabuzi?
I have no idea what it is.
What he
Everybody in the bar gets tipsy.
Is it a song or?
Yes.
Well,
he's an artist.
Yeah, I don't.
He's a black artist who
go home and crank Shabuzi.
Not aware.
Shabuzi was a rap / hip hop artist. Didn't maybe quite get to where he wanted to get, and then somehow
recorded a bad country song,
and it is all of a sudden very popular.
Yeah.
Do you play it?
No. And we would have if Molly would have wanted to play it, and she likes country, but she wouldn't play it either. So,
taking a stand.
I thought it was a good song. I like
talk to your daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want me.
Would you be pissed off if Molly was in the portal to go to another station?
Good luck.
How confident would you be in your NIL deal for Molly to keep her here?
Well, considering all the other stations are laptops in a closet,
Feel pretty good.
Pretty good,
I think. Yeah.
just a handshake and a smile would be enough to beat the other stations, right?
Basically.
There you go. But no, the portal stuff, like I said, I compared it to potty training a dog, in that you got to be alert at all times, because the moment you're not, you got to be ready for the moment when something drops, so to speak. And that's what it reminds me of. You just constantly, it's been years since I potty trained a dog, but you're constantly, the moment you let down your guard. I mean, I went and ran like a half an hour's worth of errands the other day, and like two or three things happened.
Then it's incredible.
It's just nonstop. But it gets old, man. I don't know how these journalist guys, the guys that just all they do is the ins and outs of the portal. This guy's
that would be a hard world.
I couldn't do that, but some of these guys seem to just live for it. They love it. And
hello.
I got a funny Owen Freeman story.
Okay.
Giving him a ride, he said he would constantly get towed from Carver, giving him a ride to practice. And they said, yeah, back when I went to school was when Roy, BJ, and Eddie went there, and he didn't know who any of those people were. And I said, Roy Marble, Eddie Horton, BJ Armstrong. And he says, Marble, I think is there a picture of him maybe in our conference room? Did his kid play here? I'm like, boy, he's disconnected from Iowa.
So he didn't even look up and see the banners in Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought to myself, well, you've disconnected. And I thought to myself, they'll even ask him who AC Earl is, since he's from Moline. He probably doesn't even know him there. So.
Or Ronnie Lester.
Yeah.
And see, I think that's where Ben's going to make sure these players, not that that's going to make them more successful, but you do want to embrace the. But, I think Fran, for the most part, did.
I think he did a much better job.
I'm surprised that some of these players don't take it upon themselves to do a little more research, but whatever.
Yeah.
Just a reminder that I'm old, too. All right, go on.
Yep.
Thanks for the call.
Well, yeah, I was reminded that I was old when I realized that Ben was born on pretty much the same day I started my senior year of high school. 1981.
Yeah, well,
where were you in 81?
Behind the board, playing.
You were in your, what were you, late 30s?
I was 32.
81, the band was just starting, right?
81, the band was gearing up, yeah.
We
were getting out, playing our first gigs.
A decade of debauchery and decadence. Is that what it was? debauchery.
We worked pretty hard. No, it
wasn't
the hardest job I've ever had.
It wasn't just, but there was some debauchery and decadence.
There was
wasn't
some.
There? Okay, you got it. You're not a band.
Yeah, there was some.
You're not a band if you don't have some debauchery and decadence.
But if
you
you're
agree?
playing 6 nights a week and you're a singer, you can't go crazy. You have to behave to a point, or you're not going to have a voice.
That's interesting. No, you're right, though. But you know what's funny is some of the greatest musicians never would abide by that. That's why the Doors, their concerts were canceled because, you never knew what you were getting with the lead singer.
Yeah.
The same thing with Guns N' Roses.
Well, lots of these bands.
Yeah.
I mean, you imagine being at that concert in Miami and Morrison starts playing with himself. I mean, the concert's over. I mean.
Yeah, I would not enjoy that.
What would you rather?
Roger Waters chanting or Morrison?
Yeah. Roger Waters screaming at you, or Morrison.
What would you, if you're at that concert, Tom? Which one would you rather?
I would rather be screamed at.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, I don't want to see. Pass. Hard pass. No pun intended.
Yeah, that was the last concert they ever did, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then weren't those charges still pending when he traveled to France?
Yes.
He never did,
No, he never did.
Because he would have probably faced some jail time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Speaking of him, Val Kilmer passed away.
I saw that. I was just going to say that.
65. And I mean, his version of Morrison was pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
The movie didn't do much. I got bored with it.
But I liked Val Kilmer.
Yeah. I thought his
did a good Doc Holliday.
Yeah, I thought his was much like the
great.
Bohemian Rhapsody guy who played Freddie. I thought it was really spot on.
Yeah, it was good.
Now, was it Meg Ryan, his girlfriend, Pamela Corson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his Doc Holliday was as
See, I never saw that.
It was as close as the real Doc Holliday. I mean, he researched it and everything.
He did. He was good.
But no, he was. I forgot that he had cancer. I mean, he's 65 years old. He was a little older than I thought too.
He had more than that. He had a lot of some debilitating disease. I'm not sure what.
No, it was actually amazing that he lived that long.
Yeah,
because he did. He had some autoimmune disease.
And his big break wasn't it Top Gun with Cruise? Isn't that kind of where he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot. I mean, I watched Heat. Did you see Heat? I thought Heat was too long. It just went on forever.
What's Heat?
Yeah, the bank robber movie with De Niro. It came out in '95. It just was too much.
Yeah, it was just too.
The gun. They call it the greatest gunfight ever on cinema. It just was too long. I mean.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
Hey. His big break was Real Genius.
What's what?
Yeah, but I've never.
Real Genius.
Okay, yeah, I never saw that movie.
That's the one that Tommy posted, and that's really where he took off and wound up getting.
And I've never heard of
it. The Top Gun role.
Have you heard of it, Captain?
Yeah.
Have you heard of it, Don?
No,
I haven't either.
Yeah, I was a teen.
Kind of like Weird Science stuff like that.
Kind of like that.
Okay.
Very, very much like Weird Science. Yeah. All right. Have a good one later.
Thanks, man.
Never did watch Real Genius. No, he was good in Heat. It just went on forever.
He's a real good actor. He was.
There's a lot of movies that did, that Superman versus Batman movie.
Was that long?
So stupid and
I never
ridiculous.
watched it. Was it long?
It was, the fight between Superman. Superman would have killed Batman.
Superman would kill Batman in a tenth of a second.
Yeah.
There's no.
Well, how'd
the
they make
shortest
it
movie in history.
How'd they make it last then? What
they
did Batman
kept
do?
Flying, pounding on each other. Yeah, it didn't make any sense. And they killed half of New York. I mean, buildings were toppling. And
Well, that ain't good.
No.
I thought they're supposed to be superheroes.
Well, they weren't. It was.
And then the winner of that gets the winner of Godzilla versus King Kong?
It was ridiculous. I mean, seriously.
It is completely ridiculous.
I turned the damn thing off,
Yeah, I never watched it.
It was on TV. I just turned it off.
But no, I've never watched it, and I did watch Godzilla versus King Kong, where they both kind of agreed at the end to be friends.
I did too.
And they were like, "Hey, this ain't worth it,"
Well, I mean, at least they agreed to be friends.
They agreed they agreed not to keep fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they saw no real benefit from it. So then Godzilla walked into the water and went away.
Yeah.
And then King Kong went back to his place of habitat.
He went on stage in Miami and started pleasuring himself.
But no, that was sad to see that with Val Kilmer. And they always say things like that come in threes. Has there been any other Hollywood people that we've heard that have passed away recently?
Not that I've heard.
Well, he just died. I mean, you got to give.
Who? Richard. When did he die?
Richard Chamberlain a couple days ago. Okay,
Yeah.
that's 2.
Oh, there's 2. What was he like? He had to have been in his 80s, wasn't he?
90.
90? Okay. All right. So, gee, what did he die of?
They could go. They did
Died
AP,
suddenly at 97.
AP said died unexpectedly. Well,
At 90.
Yeah, it's not unexpected. I mean, he might be
Well,
fine
it might
and
have been to
everything.
him.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know that it's going to end sooner or later.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Is Gene Hackman still recent enough?
I was just thinking the same thing. I don't think so. No.
I don't think so.
I don't think
All
so.
right. No. Thanks.
Yeah, CNN just had something on their, what do they call that thing at the bottom?
Crawl.
About his death. You know what it was? They have some recent update on what they found. That whole story was just sad and just.
That really was.
Really was, man. It just shows you that getting old sucks.
Yeah. Hello.
Hackman couldn't qualify. Wasn't he dead 2 weeks before they found him?
Or at least a week, I think.
That was
I think
creepy.
they said a week, yeah.
It was creepy.
Yeah. And didn't she die of the hantavirus or something like that?
She died, yeah.
She was only 64.
The whole thing's weird.
It was just weird.
It was like
animal
dead dog in
dying
the
in
cart.
Yeah.
Probably just starved to death. It was just really sad.
Where in the hell were their kids?
Or anybody.
Yeah. I mean, it just bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Yeah,
very
sad.
very sad.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't ask. I wonder if Ben's a cat or a dog person.
Maybe both.
Yeah,
I'm both.
Could be both. I never knew. I don't know if Fran had cats or dogs. I don't think it ever came up in conversation. I never saw any photos with them with cats or dogs. I know Kirk, remember we had Kirk on, he said Mary was a cat person. So they had cats. They didn't have any dogs. So, but I'm always kind of curious to know about that. Alfred had that, here, come here. Feeney used to walk, he'd hear, Poco, get in the house. I think his dog's name was Poco or something like that.
Lick Leiter had a sloth.
That's a good one.
A turtle.
I'm giving you that one. It would take like an hour to get him off the tree into the house at night. Had to be very deliberate with his each movement, but no, that's a good one. I mean, Lick Leiter is always the warning. Hey, it might not work. But like I said, I just think it's different. I think it's harder to win now than it was when Lick Leiter was here, to be honest with the portal. I think the portal makes it harder.
Oh, I do too.
I mean, can you imagine Lick Leiter trying to deal with the portal? Seriously.
Well, it would take him too long to
I mean,
it
would be tough, but no, I think it's harder to win now at a place like Iowa. I really do. Because so many of these schools are investing so much money, and a lot of these schools don't have football. I mean, like Villanova, they have football. You know what I mean? They don't have football as the main breadwinner and what have you. They don't have to defer to football. And Creighton, men's basketball is that.
That's their football.
That is, and in many ways, that is their football. Yeah. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what he gets with this first-year roster, and then how much of it holds over going into year two. Is this remember, because I remember when Alford got hired, he had to scramble to get guys. Remember, he got like Joe Firmino and stuff like that. But Alford knew that he was still going to have 5 or 6 or 7 players to build around.
Yeah.
And Lick Leiter even had that, and Fran even had that to an extent. I mean, Gatons, but Ben has to bring everybody in. I mean, pretty much. And he had to re-recruit Cooper Koch.
Has anybody heard anything about Gatons?
I have not. Now I have not reached out to Mike. I don't think that's. I mean, I don't. If Mike wanted to talk to me, he knows how to get a hold of me. And I don't want to put him in any. But I have not heard anything. It still would not surprise me if Ben does have a Hawkeye on the staff. He hired the 2 assistants yesterday. I guess we could have. Well, we saw his comments in the release.
Yeah.
Tyler Sash's brother Josh is on the staff now. That's a kind of a sad and happy story in some ways.
Yeah.
So they got 2 members, and it would not surprise me if Matt Gatons was maybe hired as a 3rd or somebody with Hawkeye ties. But if Matt's not back here, he'll land somebody.
Sure,
somebody would hire him. And Drake has hired Eric Henderson away from South Dakota State, which makes me wonder which Power 5 team will be hiring Eric Henderson a year from now after he does.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
That was the first thing that crossed my mind.
Yeah, he comes highly recommended, and he had good success at South Dakota
Yes, he
State.
did.
So, I mean, maybe Brian Harden has hit the jackpot again. I forgot that Brian did not hire Nico, but he did hire Darian DeVries, and he did hire Ben McCollum. That's a pretty good track record. My guess is there's going to be some big schools coming in for Brian Harden at some point. I mean, maybe he'll stay at Drake for the rest of his. I'm sure he makes decent money at Drake. Maybe he's content just doing that. But I would imagine some schools are going to see with what he's done with his hires, be like, wow, we could really benefit from.
I would
this
pay
guy.
close attention to what
Yes.
who he hires.
Yes,
Yeah.
I definitely. Oh, I'm sure people will. So, but yeah, this is just uncharted territory. In all my years of doing this, I don't recall ever a time where there was just nobody on the roster.
One of the questions I wanted to ask Ben and didn't was, last year you had to assemble a roster. Is that going to help you this year?
Yeah, he answered. That was the first question he was asked at his press conference. And he did say, yeah, it helps, but he also said it's going to be different because you're at a different level.
Sure.
It's just the higher you go up, it's going to be a little different, but it still comes down to getting kids to trust in what you're doing. But now here, it's just going to cost a lot more money.
Yeah.
Do you think that Licklider could have dealt with the portal here?
No. I think the combination of a lack
he
of
didn't cope with the
Without
portal.
I know. So yeah.
No,
I don't think he could have.
No, it would not. It would not have worked.
Yeah.
Would Little Lick have gone into the portal?
Yes. I don't know what his portal value would. It was like minus $7.50. Don't even get me started on that. I still think that's one of the dumbest things he did was play his kid. Didn't you? It was ridiculous.
I didn't. It didn't.
It was just
didn't work.
It just was ridiculous. It wasn't fair. The kid took minutes away from guys that were way more deserving.
Well, it's just
Well,
he could have attracted.
John brings a few dimensions to the point guard position that Cully doesn't. Remember that quote?
Yes, I do.
I remember saying to myself, yes, lack of size, slow of foot, inability to really use his offhand, inability to elevate on a jump shot, 5'8".
I thought Cully was pretty good.
I thought Cully was fine.
Yeah.
Especially compared to John. See, that's when he started to realize. I remember sitting in those press conferences being like, dude, what are you doing? You're not playing David Palmer, but you're playing your kid.
And I like Jake Kelly a lot.
I did too.
I was real sorry to see him.
I mean, David Palmer, though, that's still one of the strangest handlings of a player. That
makes no sense.
I mean, he had two massive games against Wisconsin and Purdue back-to-back, and then he barely ever played again. Rode the bench.
I can't remember what did Lick say about
Well, I asked him about it, and he's like, Pat, I've answered this question 1,000,000 times, and I remember saying, well, no, you really haven't. That's why I'm asking it again. And then he didn't answer it. He just went off on some weird tangent. By then, though, it was off the rails. I mean, I think everyone knew by then it was only a matter of time Gary was going to have to make a decision. God, to think Lick was 18 years ago.
God, that's
2007.
incredible.
Alfred's last year with 2006-07. So, yeah, basically 8. Does it feel long or short? 18 years.
Fran was here for 15
Fran
years.
was 15 years, yeah.
And that seems real fast, that it went real fast.
I mean, Alfred started 1990. It's been 26 years since Alfred.
Man.
Think about that.
It just means we're old.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. We're definitely old. I mean, Tom Davis's last game was March of 99.
Wow.
I saw a recent interview with him. I'm going to look into trying to get him on again because last time we had him on, it was fun. And I like the fact that Ben has reached out to Tom and wants Tom to come back. Fran did the same thing. I mean, Fran did, but this is a smart thing to do, especially if Tom's here in town. Take advantage of that resource. Mm-hmm. Have Tom Davis come in and talk to your guys. He's part of Iowa's. He's a big part of the history of that program.
Sure he is.
And he's a great man. And a lot of people, Hawkeye fans, still revere him and whatever. So I think that's a good idea. And I like that Ben's trying to reach out to BJ. And I think all that helps. I mean, I think that all helps in building this brand and getting people back in the seats. Now, of course, you got to win. But you got to get that little spike in there from the coaching change. It'll help you to win if some fans are in there before you actually start winning. You need some of that, too. So we'll see.
I did love the white shirt and tie thing that the Drake students.
Oh, the Iowa students.
And then they're going to be all over it.
And I think his answer to the court side, He definitely wants. You could tell right away he was ready to answer that. I think the students. I think there will be a change by the start of next season. Don't you? I don't. I'm by no means an architect. If there's any listening, I don't think that's a huge structural thing. If they can set up bleachers for the students to stand on this, that wouldn't seem like a major multi-million-dollar project.
You mean behind the teams?
Yeah, like they do at Michigan State, like they do at Michigan. Literally have like a row of 15, 20 bleachers where they literally
stand. But then wouldn't you block those?
Well, that's where you're going to. That's where some configuration. That's where they're going to maybe have to do a little renovating. But you're going to have to give a little to get something out of it. You can't just move the students and not have it affect some people. But you maybe have to give it a little bit if you're some of these fans that don't like to stand. Just something needs to be done. Mm-hmm. And this thing, well, down in front, you can't survive with the down in front attitude if fans want to stand. That's what they need.
Yeah.
They need fans standing and cheering and shouting, especially students.
They do.
And the students are the one that bring the energy, and the closer they are to the court, the more energy they bring.
No, that's for sure. But you have to have that marriage between the energy and the money.
Yeah, you do. You do, but there's ways to make it work to where other schools. You're telling me Iowa's the only arena where you can't have students courtside and have the donors still be able to see? No, that's a minor thing that they can figure out how to work. And I don't think it's a multi-million-dollar project. But we'll see. But no, Ben, he right away, yes, we need them courtside. I do think they'll do something.
I hope so.
I do. They needed, and I do think that they will have a good number of students there. Their first game's against Robert Morris. You saw they announced that. Now everyone's talking, well, they were 28. It'll be a completely different team. I mean, you can't compare one season to the next because you just don't know what the rosters are going to look like.
No, and that's unfortunate in a lot of ways, and it's the way it is.
It's just the way it is.
It's
just the way it is. There's no reason to even bother to try to look at what a team did this year to see how they're going to play next year because you just don't know.
And there were so many different. I mean, like Illinois bought back 2 points from their previous season.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm seeing a lot of players that I thought seemed happy and having success at their schools in the portal.
Well, they're mercenaries.
Just in the portal. That's just something's always greener, or there's maybe
money,
literally more green somewhere else.
Exactly. That's
what it is. It's just staying put doesn't seem to be much of a priority anymore. I think wouldn't that get old though? Just switching schools every year.
Well, but if this is your one chance to make money.
No, you're right.
Basketball,
but there's something to be said too, though, for building some roots and.
Well, those are 2 different mindsets.
No, they really are, and I think my mindset is old-fashioned and kind of going by the wayside.
Well, something to be said by what you're going to do after basketball.
Yeah.
So if you can make $1.5 million playing basketball in 2 different schools in 2 different years, and you're not going to play pro, take it.
Hello,
I get it.
Good morning.
Hey,
how's everyone?
We're okay.
Good.
How are you?
I've got some high school rugby scores for you.
All right.
Okay.
The Iowa City Trojans from last Friday. They beat Cedar Rapids, Washington, 24-0.
Wow.
Oh,
they
whitewashed
beat them. They shut them out.
Yeah, they shut them
Thrashed
out. And they only play sevens, which is set up by the big boys, more so like the Olympic, towards the Olympic side of rugby.
Okay.
And then they also played Muscatine, and they beat Muscatine 26-5.
All right.
And they play again this weekend. They play Friday night at Prairie. That starts at 6:30. And then they play. Their next match will be. They have like several teams come in at a time on those, and so they're able to get a group of teams at one time, and they will be playing in Iowa City on May 2nd.
Okay.
And that'll be at West High.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for the update.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep.
Yeah, you bet. And I've reached out to the U of I men's and women's and not heard anything back on them. The Iowa City Ducks play on April 13th at Scott Park, and that'll be a game time of 1 p.m.
It's right down the street
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah.
You won't even have to drive.
No, I
Pat.
could just walk down there and start knocking heads.
Yeah, there you go. Well, come out and have a look, Pat.
Maybe I will. I may surprise you.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
I'll try to explain the game to you.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
You too. I saw him yesterday at Marco's Grilled Cheese. He was eating a grilled cheese sandwich. Their tater tots sure smelled good. Have you ever had them?
I have. They're delicious.
They looked really good.
They are. They really are.
I get the grilled cheese with bacon.
I've had the grilled cheese.
Man,
that's what he had. He had grilled cheese with bacon and tater tots. And I got
Yum.
a chili dog from there yesterday.
Good.
It was good. Yeah, for $6, it filled me up. It was good. But no, their tater tots, they may be something they looked really good. And they looked crispy and just you've had them?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're delicious.
Yeah, I've had them too.
Okay, well, again, but thanks to Iowa for getting Coach McCollum on, and he's been doing kind of a...
Well, it was fun.
Yeah.
I hope he enjoyed it. I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did. Like I said, I mean, I enjoyed all his answers. I really enjoyed the thought he gave about Felon Kinnick.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be, like I said, I hope this works because I think Iowa basketball needs some good. It needs some good to happen.
I agree with that, and yeah.
I hope Ben and
Yeah,
Fran
I
are
hope so.
both successful in their new jobs.
Oh, of course. Gosh. I think Fran will do great at Penn.
I sure hope he does.
And-
And I know he's back there with his brother now, and that'll help in a lot of ways. And he's back in his hometown. He hasn't been there but it's just so wild how quickly it happens.
Yeah. It does. It changes. Your mindset has to
It
change
just-
so quickly. But he's a teacher. Fran's a teacher.
Can we take this last one?
Sure. Hello?
Hey, Pat, what you were just saying, how you guys are like, I hope it works and whatnot. There's a part of me that says, like, if this dude doesn't, I'm not define successful. I mean, people always say Big Ten championships or Sweet 16s or whatever. There's a part of me that, like, deep down wants to say, if this dude doesn't do it or get it right, then ain't nobody gonna.
Well, I mean, I see your point. I hope that's not the case.
I hope that isn't true.
But, I mean, that's, you feel the way you feel for your reasons, and that's your right.
He certainly appears to be a good fit.
But what he's saying, if it doesn't...
That's what I mean by all that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always work. We'll
Nope.
see. We'll see. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
And then it'd be interesting. Like, I wonder if he's, because how he talked about them camps that were going on around the state. I wonder if he's going to try to do some stuff.
Well,
like
I
that.
meant to do a follow-up on that, and I didn't because I knew we were really fighting against time. But I would imagine that's what I think they need to get the I-clubs. They need to get back out and doing those summer camps. But see, now they mostly just come to Iowa City, don't they? They do. Fran did all these camps where the kids would come here. So, but no, I'm with you. I think that would be a neat way to reconnect to some fans at different parts of the state.
Also, the NCAA, you guys made a comment the other day about the whole Colorado-Syracuse thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. What are they going to do? I mean, what are they going to do?
Well,
they don't have. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Fill your stadium, do it. They ain't going to stand there with armed guards and not let people in or let you do
It
it.
is an interesting way to approach
It is.
that. Yeah,
And I don't know why they wouldn't let him.
I don't get it. I didn't read the story.
I thought it was a great idea.
I thought it was a neat idea. I mean, Deion's trying to help the game evolve.
How is that different from having an exhibition game between Iowa and Augustana?
I don't get it. I'm with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And real quick, I was just seeing on the news this morning, they average like 11,000 people a football game. Coastal Carolina, free concessions, unlimited trip.
I did see that. Yeah, they're going to not charge for concessions during their football games.
Except for beer. They're going to be charging for beer probably $11, $12.
Yeah. Can you imagine that, though? That's, hey.
I think that's great.
I think they're trying. They're trying a different way to make it easier for fans because maybe they're thinking, if we don't charge them for concessions, maybe all that money they save will go into NIL. Because I think NIL is becoming priority number one for every athletic department now.
Well, it's certainly an unmet challenge at this point for a lot of places.
Yes, and I think some universities and departments would say, yeah, we need actually more NIL money than we actually need fans in the seats. You know, I mean.
Well, maybe so. I mean, Ohio State, what did they say? It was $22 million payroll last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if their football team isn't, I mean, that's just astounding.
Well, they basically bought a national championship.
Yeah, they did.
But that's just what teams are doing now. They're purchasing rosters now, and that's just the way it is. So.
And that is the way it is, and you can't change it. Toothpaste out of the tube, genie out of the bottle.
Baby.
Nope.
Yeah.
We done?
Sure.
What time is it? Almost 10:40.
Yeah.
Lang's in there waiting to go. Cops. Hey, Lang.
Time for some police reports.
Time for the station to move on. We've
the Ben McCollum interview is an
thing's
hour ago.
That was an hour ago, Captain.
Almost an hour and a half ago. People have forgotten.
How many players have entered the portal since he got done with it?
Good question. Probably 100.
Or more.
All right, well, everybody, thanks for listening, assuming you did. And
yeah.
Is it supposed to get up to 70 today?
Yeah, supposed to.
Okay, sure doesn't look like it. But then down to the 50s again, I heard you say, right?
Yeah, then it's the 50s.
All right.
Through the
Well, everybody have a good day.
All right, and we've got Tommy Lang, Captain Steve with police reports. Our next, hawkfanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.
KCJJ Weather.